On 8th March 2014, a Malaysian Airlines flight took off from Kuala Lumpur, but did not reach Beijing, its destination. Till date, no one knows about the whereabouts of this flight. But after 8 years, finally, we've found a clue about the location of this aircraft. Welcome you once again in the Hashu Vines videos. Viewers, the date was 8th March 2014, that is, about 8 years ago. Flight MH370, an aircraft of Malaysian Airlines, was bound to take off from the Malaysian capital Kuala Lumpur and land in Beijing, the capital of China. 2 pilots, 10 cabin crew, and 227 passengers were present on that flight. Most of the passengers belonged to China. Both the pilots were very experienced. 53-year-old Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah had 33 years of flight experience, while 27-year-old co-pilot Farouk Abdul Hamid was a junior pilot with 7 years of flight experience. This aircraft was an 11-year-old Boeing 777 aircraft, in which there was no problem of any kind, nor was this aircraft a victim of any mechanical or electrical fault in the past. What I want to say is that it was completely a regular flight running between Malaysia and China, which used to fly from Malaysia to China or back to Malaysia from China after flying for 5 hours and 34 minutes daily. But today was not a normal day for this flight. Rather, it was much more than abnormal. Of course, flight MH370 was supposed to fly for 5 hours and 34 minutes. But before takeoff, it was loaded with fuel. That was more than required, with which it could fly for 7 hours, 41 minutes. That is 2.5 hours more than its actual requirement. It is also a routine practice of airlines to do so that if the plane is diverted owing to the bad weather or emergency, then it could utilize the extra fuel. The day was 8th March 2014, and time was 12:42 a.m. when flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur as per routine. The first pilot, Zahari, was in direct contact with the Kuala Lumpur Air Traffic Control Tower before and after the takeoff. On takeoff, the aircraft turned its direction towards the South China Sea, and after 20 minutes, at 1:09 a.m., the transponder on the aircraft sent its current GPS location to the radar of the Kuala Lumpur Air Traffic Control Tower. This is the automatic function of the transponder to send its current location to the nearest radars after a short period. Till now, everything was going according to plan 10 minutes after that, i.e. at 1:19 a.m., when flight MH370 left Malaysian air jurisdiction and entered Vietnamese air jurisdiction. The control tower of Kuala Lumpur contacted first pilot Zahari for the last time at 6:32 a.m. A search operation has been started at the exact place from where the plane disappeared. 34 ships and 28 aircraft from 7 countries started searching for flight MH370 on the border of the Gulf of Thailand and the South China Sea, but unfortunately, there was no trace of the aircraft. By this time, the whole world had come to know about this incident. TV, news websites, and social media were all showing only this news. During this, the investigation team of many countries also became a part of the search operation. No one was really able to understand the reason behind sudden disappearance of the aircraft from all the radars. And even if it had crashed on this area of the sea, being such a big aircraft, it was expected some wreck/debris to be seen. This search operation continued for the next 4 days, but still, there was no trace of the aircraft. But then, on the 4th day, a news came which shook the entire rescue operation team. When flight MH370 disappeared from the radar at 1:21 a.m. on 8th March, it had disappeared from the civilian radar but remained on the radar of the Malaysian military for the next 1 hour. And what happened after that was like this. After disappearing from the civilian radar for a few minutes, the aircraft started moving towards the right and then took a U-turn and turned back to Malaysia. After 31 minutes, the aircraft crossed the Malaysian city of Penang and then turned towards the Malacca Strait. Flight MH370 was last detected up to this point in the Indian Ocean, as far as the range of military radar could detect, and the time was 2:22 a.m. After this, MH370 neither showed up on military radar nor on any civilian radar. The entire rescue team and every person associated with this plane were only trying to solve one mystery: that where did the aircraft go? What bothered them more was that why did the plane took a sharp U-turn in the direction exactly opposite Beijing? The rescue team that was earlier looking for the plane in the Gulf of Thailand and the South China Sea, now they started their search in this part of the Indian Ocean. But surprisingly, there was no trace of the plane here too. After the next few days, another information surfaced, and once again, it changed the whole situation. The airplane disappeared from the military radar at 2:22 a.m., but there was a satellite with which it was in constant contact. Let me update you here that it is normal for Boeing airplanes to try to contact the satellite when their own communication system fails due to some reason. The plane automatically tried to contact a satellite in Marsat 35,000 kilometers away. After exactly every 1 hour, with the help of data saved on this satellite, experts performed a complex calculation. So finally, the next move of flight MH370 was also known. It was learned that that Malaysian aircraft again took a turn after disappearing from military radar and kept flying over the Indian Ocean in the same direction for the next 5 hours. At 8:19 a.m., the aircraft tried to connect to the satellite for the last time, and this was the last signal from MH370. After this, neither did the plane contacted any other satellite, nor did it showed up on any other radar. That is when the rescue team first started searching for the aircraft at that moment. The aircraft was actually flying, but its location was far away from there. Experts and the investigation team, but till date, there's no clue of the plane or the passengers. To this day, no one knows what might have happened inside Malaysian flight MH370 before it disappeared. Some investigators suspect that the plane was hijacked, while some believe that due to an electrical failure, the aircraft's contact with the outside world was broken, and due to lack of oxygen, all the people inside the aircraft had fainted. Well, the actual reason can only be known from recordings saved inside the black box of the plane, which is missing somewhere in the Indian Ocean along with the plane. In February 2022, after full 8 years of the disappearance of MH370, the aircraft was once again expected to be found. Richard Guthrie, a British retired aerospace engineer, has claimed that he have found out the actual location of the plane through weak signal propagation analysis, and surprisingly, the pinpoint location which Richard has mentioned is present in the same curved area of the Indian Ocean. Richard believes that the wreck of missing Malaysian Airlines is lying 4,000 meters below the ocean, at the exact point he had mentioned. This depth is the same as to where Titanic laid for 74 years before it was discovered in 1985. Now, how seriously do Malaysian authorities take the claim of this retired aerospace engineer, and whether a new search operation is launched at this location or not, only time will tell. Hope you guys will like and share this Hashu Vines video. My heartfelt appreciation for your loving comments. We'll meet you in another amazing video.